Blyth driving test route, 19th of June, 11:24. Subscribe, please. Well, why not? This is the director's commentary. Ooh, we're getting good at these now. I'm not going to add one to everyone, but hello, my name's Ryan and I'm a driving instructor. If you hear in the background some cats, don't worry, that's just me cats wandering around meowing. Not what we can do about that, but never mind. As you may have noticed, we actually started out in the EV bays at the very far end, and the reason is because the car park was so busy we had nowhere else to go. So she's going to turn right here, because normally what would happen is you'd be reversed into a bay in front of the test centre, but there was literally nowhere to go. So we parked up next to the EV bays. Does that make sense? It probably will. Ironically, she finishes up in the same spot when she finishes. Now I can say she, and I can tell you it was Laura. This is a pass. However, it has a big star asterisk-y thing next to it. There was a number of times when mirror signal manoeuvre wasn't fully obeyed to, and also prepare observe manoeuvre when she was moving off. In other words, there was a bit of missed blind spots or opportunities to look around. Now that's not whether the pupil is doing it. This is all to do with whether the examiner sees it. So there's two perceptions on this. Whether the examiner can see you checking or whether you've actually checked. Got it? Good. So all we're doing here is just following the road all the way out the test centre. We will go across this roundabout, come round the corner to the traffic lights, and at the traffic lights going to turn right. You can't turn left at the lights or go straight on because they don't take you anywhere. It's turning left takes you into Morrison's and a little bit of the town, and going straight on just takes you in a little bit of a housing estate, which gets a bit tight and you kind of end up being sat in there. I know they explored the idea of going straight on here, but they've never enacted it. They've always stuck to these kind of let's go out Cowpen roadway. So it's about to turn right at the traffic light. Beware of changing traffic lights, including stale greens. But done all right there. Going around, try and keep the left hand side. The car is not a bother. Seem to always stop on the left just along here. Oh, there she goes. She's coming to a stop on the left hand side. And the examiner had said that she missed 4 blind spots. That's moving off safety. That's you checking around, prepare, observe, blind spot checks, move off. Is it safe? Have you put a signal on? Have you followed the required routine? If you put the signal on, have you caused anybody to slow down, swerve or stop? Has there been anybody there? Loads of things that you can practice with your instructor. I'll just drive down now. Sometimes what happens as well is they stop on the left just up here. If they're not happy with your first stop, they'll make you stop again just by this building just here, just this white building here. They'll do it deliberately to see if you're paying attention. Quite a tough corner this, be very careful. I'm going to call this corner Donna's corner because she went too quick round it one time and nearly went across the other side of the road. Remember, following the road. There's no signal required there, you're just following the road. Moving along down this road up to the roundabout at the top. Now we're on sat-nav on this one. You can actually see the sat-nav reflected in the windscreen. But either way, you'd be following the sign effectively to Bedlington or turning right at the roundabout. Second exit. So with the second exit, you think, oh, I'm going straight on, but you've got to work out on the layout. So you're looking at the sign on the left hand side, just up here, just there, and it only has 2 exits. So don't get confused with roundabouts with different exits, whether that's going straight on, turning right or turning left. Probably just checking across, making sure it's nice and safe. We can't see that on the camera, of course. Following Cowpen Road all the way out, probably about another 6 minutes, something like that. Across this little roundabout, very careful of cars coming out of Asda on the right hand side. There we go. And we'll go up past Lidl. Now, one time they used to take you in Lidl, and they used to take you down the side of it to do the emergency stop. I haven't seen it for a while, but it doesn't mean to say that they're going to do it again. So they could still do that. I've also seen them take them down the side of the car wash, which is coming up fairly soon, and take you down Coniston Road to do park on the right reverse, the parallel, or an emergency stop, depending on how busy it is. We're coming up to that junction fairly soon. And I've also seen them taking people into the retail park on the right hand side where KFC is, to drive into a bay. So come past the TA, the army thingy. I think it's the TA. Somebody will correct me in the comments. And that junction just here on the right hand side is where sometimes where you would turn right. Sorry, I nearly got that wrong. I was watching one of my cats and taking a drink at the same time. Nice drink. Always remember to hydrate. Oh, that was a short stop. Did we see that? That ultimately comes down to a little bit of observation. Just be very careful. Possibly getting distracted by someone. He might have asked her to open the window. I haven't got the audio on. I can't tell. But essentially, if she's been asked to open and close the window or sound the horn, she might have got a little distracted there. It might have even been the demist. Don't know. Obviously, it wasn't to wash the windows because we'd be able to see it. Remember your show me, tell me questions. Work on them, especially when you're driving along. If you don't know them, go and practice them. If you do not know the answer, don't try and bluff them. Just say, I do not know. The worst thing about show me, tell me, especially when you're driving, is it wash the front windscreen, you pull it towards you and nothing happens. You're trying to get it to stop or start and you end up driving over the pavement or driving 10 miles an hour or something. If you don't know, just don't do it. You'll pick up a minor. You would like to get it right. You want a clean sheet on at the end of the day. You don't want any minors. If you can study them, great. But if you don't know the answer, sometimes it's easy to just say, look, hold up my hands. I don't know the answer to that. Coming up to these junctions, be very, very super careful of all of these junctions which have keep clear, and it looks like it's faded off. So there's keep clear there, and there's another one just here, and it's getting to the other side of the box. Imagine there's a yellow box in the way or something, and probably stop start kicked on there, and she's moving up because the lights have changed. But it's okay to be moving through that box, just don't block the junctions. I'm sure pretty basic, you'd think that, wouldn't it? Nearly at the end of Cowpen Road, 8.5 minutes in. Wow, another one where I talk for 33 minutes, better than 42 yesterday, mind you. To be fair, I did quit talking about that at the end because it was a bit boring. The examiner will always tell you about the next two roundabouts. The reason is if you're on SatNav, it can't tell you the direction for the second roundabout. He will say whether you're going right or left. Now, for some reason, she's gone in the right-hand side. I presume that we're turning right. I kind of know we're not because I've already flicked through it and I did the camera for the reverse. So she's gone in the right-hand side. We're staying in the right-hand side. The car on the left, you can see that. Now she's come back to left, so she must have signalled left. Not too sure why she's done that. Maybe out of habit. Maybe she thinks she's going back to home because she lives north of here. I'm not going to tell you where she lives. Yeah, we're going back down that. So we're going up the 189, so join the highway. 50 miles an hour here, temporary, before they put the bridge in for the railway station at Blyth, Bebbside. Just to make you aware there then, she probably should have stayed in the left-hand side at Asda, second exit, and then first exit the next one. So the examiner always super tells you what's going to happen in advance because the sat-nav can't. Does that make sense? Try it yourself. Program your sat-nav and put in Ashington or something. And if you've got the TomTom app on your phone, I think they charge for it maybe, then run it like that and you'll see what it does. It doesn't say where to go on the roundabout. It's quite weird. We're probably going to come off at Three Horseshoes, which is the next junction. There's loads of different options on this route. We could be going anywhere. We could be going to East Hartford. We could be going down to New Hartley via the 192. We could even be going back into Blyth. No idea. And remember, you're driving to what you can see. You've got no idea where you're going to go anyway. So the sat-nav here will be screaming at her to exit, absolutely. And also, it may give instruction of where to go at the end of the slip road, so that can also be confusing. Remember, practice sat-nav. It's very useful. Let's see where she goes. Right, she's gone on the right-hand side. Right, so what's going to happen here then is she's left the roundabout, and the sat-nav will now be barking at her to take the third exit, turning right. And the examiner sometimes backs that up and says, yeah, you're turning right on the roundabout. Big roundabout, follow your routine. So you probably mirror signal right, slowing us down, braking in, looking across the right, keeping your position, looking, assess, deciding and acting. Stay in the right hand side because you're turning right on a roundabout. Count your exits. It's so big you can't look across the roundabout to identify your exit, so count them. There's the first exit. There's your second exit, which is marked with a green sign back on the 189. Mirror signal left to leave the roundabout, which she hasn't done yet. We've exited the right hand side. Now, technically, there's nothing wrong with that. However, I would probably be tempted to come to left. Depends if there was something there. So it's just 40 along this road, just a reminder to everybody. Well, maybe she looked on the sat-nav and noticed that she was turning right a little bit further up. She has stayed in the outside lane. If you get undertaken here then, technically you can fail. So I'd have probably stayed in the left and moved across when I saw the sign. So exit left-hand side, stay in the left-hand side and move across when you see the sign. Because the sat-nav's probably telling you, turning right, East Hartford. There we go, yeah, definitely turning East Hartford. A little bit lucky there. Can we say that? Is that possible? This route's on my channel quite a lot, this one. Everybody does this a little bit different. Got to your turning point, looking down the road. Traffic's only coming from one direction, which is straight towards you. You can probably see this better than me, seeing the red car and the other things. Motorbike. Another van or car. Little van. Taxi. Taxi. There we go. Go on, off you go. There we go. We'll go around. Now, as soon as you come in here, 20. Just do 20. You've probably been going 40 or 50 on the highway, possibly 55. I'd like to see everybody doing 60, preferably. That's what they like to see. And it's quite explicit about directions when they're coming through. Even though it's on the sat-nav, it doesn't tell the full story. There we go. Speedy bumps. Maintaining speed throughout, which is the theory test question. Yeah, you don't speed up and slow down. So, it was something we did earlier. Oh, she stopped. So drive on when you are ready, or move off when you are ready. Not move off when it's safe to do so. Move off when you're ready. That's what the examiner says. Or drive on when you're ready. Two different things. it won't say safely because it forces you into looking, and therefore it could prompt you to do something. Following it round. This is where I remember where we were doing the parallel. So I've already added the camera on here. Yay, well done, Ryan. Yes, well done me for adding the camera in. I can't remember exactly where it was, just remember checking it. Pretty easy through here. Yeah, he's pulled her in. So now I'm going to ask you to carry out a reverse or a parallel park, coming up alongside the blue-grey car in front of us and reversing back into the left-hand side, keeping the curb even on the left. I'm not going to edit this, by the way. That curb on the left-hand side safely with due regards to other road users and within 2 car lengths of the car. To be fair, he's picked quite a tight spot here, but then it's probably 2.5, 3 car lengths here. Camera angles sometimes don't do it justice. Nice and neat. Remember, it's an observational game. Dead neat that. Nicely done. Nice bit of control. Remember, we can't see where the candidate is looking. So remember to look all around. Look in all directions, it says in the guide. It says it on the cameras. It says it in the cars. Even if with the guidance, it tells you on the screen, look in all directions. Use your parking sensors if necessary. But you should be observing 100%. We turn right down here. There's a little catch at the end of here, catchy out piece, if you will. Excuse me. So this is yeah, he's going to pull her in on the left. Now he's pulling her in on the left to do an angled start, even though it kind of already done one with a parallel park. So I'm thinking he's pulled her over a lot to check maybe blind spot. I know it was mentioned at the end. Blind spot checks maybe. Now here's the catch. You're forced into the wrong side of the road here. And you're going to turn right. So she's come back to the left, luckily. So some people might get at the end of this road thinking it's a one-way street and turn right from the right-hand side. Excuse me. Oh dear, got a frog in my throat. Anybody want a drink? I've got Diet Coke here. What he's going to make her do is do an emergency stop. He'll probably raise his hand and say stop. He'll look around before he's going to do it. If you're not sure about an emergency stop, see your instructor, go through it with them, ask them what it's about, ask them how it works on a driving test. He's probably going to raise his hand just after this speed bump, 20 miles an hour on the dials. We're doing about 14 miles an hour according to that. 14, 15 miles an hour. Raise his hand, says stop. Observe, check, identify. Doesn't matter if you stall. You've got your foot on the brake. Put your clutch down afterwards. Have a look round. If you're in the auto, put your foot through the floor on the brake. Send him through the windscreen if necessary. You may need to stop the car properly. Practice it with your instructor. He'll then say, move off when you are ready. Or drive away when you're ready. I think we've covered this, haven't we? We are more than halfway. Coming up to leaving East Hartford village. This is a complicated junction. We will be turning left. There's 2 options. go into the left-hand side. Is Laura going to do this? Yeah. So Laura's gone into the left-hand side and used the slip road as a slip road and joined it, signalling right as if it was a highway. Now, the other way to do it is you'll get all the way up to the line and just turn as if it was a regular junction. It's a good idea to do it as a slip road because you're looking across, but it allows you to build up your speed before joining the main carriageway. Now, many different instructors choose different ways to teach it, and I never taught Laura this. She's done it all by herself. She's improvised. It's entirely up to you what you want to do, even from the instructors. If instructors are listening to this, teach it the way that you want to teach it. I've got no preference over any way you want to do it. I think it's a good idea what she did. But if you're getting somebody that's exceeding 40, doing 50 or 60 along there, it can be quite difficult on that slip road. Going third exit, turning right, 3 horseshoes, same idea as you came in. Right hand side, count your exits because you can't see them. You're going 192 towards Tynemouth and Blyth. Actually, I think it says Cramlington Town Centre as well. So there's the first one for Bedlington and Horton. Second one says Ashington 189. And it says on the sat-nav, somewhere about here, take the exit. So mirror, signal left, get in the left-hand side. There we go, she's just dropped across. It saves you bacon on your driving test. And leaving here where it says Tynemouth, Blyth, Cramlington. There we go. Now this bit of road here is still national speed limit, even though it's got a lamppost. It has caused confusion in the past. It is still national, so you can do whatever's in front of you. And she's doing probably about 37, 38 on the dials. Probably about right. And leaving 2 seconds between the car in front. Now the sat-nav runs out somewhere around here. I think it's just on this corner, so it'll say you've reached your destination. You haven't. Keep going, he's going to turn you left. Now, as we rejoined at 3 horseshoes, imagine that we haven't done the East Hartford bit. You either go straight on here or turn right. So I've seen people turn right here. You go straight on and go towards Tynemouth on an alternative test route. But we're going back to Blyth now. We've only got 10 minutes, 11 minutes of the test left. So it takes 11 minutes to get back to town. Now, multiple options on getting in. All the way down the 1061. All the way down South Beach. That way. Maybe going all the way down to Ridley Park and in along one of those streets. The other one is turning left at the old roundabout, which you'll see because the road works, and going along through Newsham over the level crossing. Multiple paths to get back. Examiner can choose any. It is still the same test route. It's a variation on that test route. So while you might have a set test route of we're going to do this, that or the other, it may alternate, it may change. You don't know 100% which way you're going to go until the examiner tells you. This roundabout, stay on the right hand side. The arrow tells you to do it. Don't go in the left. If you go in the left, you're going to end up going to one of my customers. There's a bus lane on the left hand side. It's quite a way in, it's about 300 yards further in. But don't go left. Stay on the right hand side. Watching what's happening, mirror signal off the roundabout, things like that. You're just following the signs back to Blyth really, or town centre. I think it says town centre on the next one. Now we're coming up to the roadworks. Anybody who's watching this in 2027, the roadworks have gone. You're going on the flyover. Anybody who's watching this right now, there's roadworks, go down to 30. Oh no, 2027 dual carriageway. Yeah, and on the dual carriageway, what you do is, dot. It probably won't make that much of a difference. The road was 50, and it'll probably stay 50 when it's all finished. coming down 30 miles an hour. As you can see it on the sat nav, it's doing 26, 27, 25, 24, 23, because she saw a sign do 20. So she's watching what's happening, because the 20 is an advisory. It means that you have to be careful. It doesn't mean that you absolutely must do 20 miles an hour. You are driving through corns and roadworks. Super careful. So he always says here, choose the right hand lane to go straight on. And the reason he does that is because of the roadworks. Normally they don't do that. Alright, we're going straight on. So right hand lane straight on. Normally takes you left at Newson there. Could take you over the left level crossing on Plessy Road, all the way down Plessy Road. Seen this in another video, haven't we? I can see you all nodding your heads in the background. Wow, you've got to 25 minutes. Amazing. Listen to my voice all this time. Across the level crossing. Soon to be not there. Now, they've put these temporary lights for a pedestrian crossing. I'll not rant about temporary lights. You must comply with them according to Rule 109. Even if they are temporary. There we go, just following the cones. Guided speed 14, 11, 10. Just being careful here. And soon this will be all finished and all of us will be all over £100 million. There you go. And my cat's starting to cry again. Can I have some food? And we come at the end of the roadworks. Road changes back to 40. And you're going to get to some lights. We've got a cyclist who's just decided to drop onto the pavement there. I've been quite lucky with cyclists actually. Normally you get one or two and you have to deal with them. Overtaking them 1.5 meters of space. As much space as you can really. So speed changes to 40, so 2-second rule applies here. Only a fool makes a 2-second rule. See how it works? There we go. That car's way ahead. It's about doing it safely though. He's not going to do you for progression if you're driving safely to the conditions. Nice day though. Nice dry day. Not really bothered about catching up. Should probably miss the 40 sign to be fair, because normally Laura's on it. Yeah, she must have just missed it. Down the next lights. You've got 5 minutes of my dulcet tones to listen to. Pretty easy on the lights there. You all know what to do with traffic lights, I presume. If you don't, speak to your instructor. Yay! Okay, coming down a big roundabout. This roundabout is a standard crossroads roundabout. Not much can be said about it really. They did change the speed limit at the end of this road down to 30, just to make you aware. And you can see the new speed signs at the end. Two options here. Take your left all the way down to Plessy Road. Take you right back to the test centre. Go straight on into town, straight on town centre. I think it says that anyway. Yeah, we're just going to go straight on. You can see by the angle. So mirror signal off your roundabout. Past the new shops. Or if you're watching in 2027, the shops that they built in 2023. There we go. Nice blue sky. Lovely day. Green grass. What can you ask for? Going back to the test centre. Big smile on your face because you realise you haven't messed up yet. Well, you don't know actually till you get to the end. You think you've passed sometimes. And yeah, anyway. Just being careful along here. It's 30. We went through the 30 signs. Being super careful. Don't get carried away because there's no houses. Or the houses look like they're in an estate on the left-hand side. It is absolutely 30. There are no speed signs up. There are lampposts telling us that the default speed limit applies, which in Blyth is 30. It's actually 30 in Gosforth and Alnwick, but I'm just making you aware of it. Going past the shipping containers and terminal and the cable people and all of that. Good question here. Are those cars parked illegally if they've had to cross double yellow lines? Answers on a postcard. BBC Television Centre. Or was it NW1A? Oh, I can never remember it. Anybody who was born in the 80s probably remembers that address. And we're just moving along all the way past Ridley Park. Here's the cable wheels on the right hand side. 10 metres high, them, you know. Nearly there. Or are they 5 metre ones? Oh, can't be. It might be 8 metre. I know they're pretty big. So sometimes go straight on all the way down. Sometimes we go left here, as I mentioned earlier in the video. Now we're going to go left, right? So meet and greet situations, loads of it. Be very careful. Don't go too quick. Understand what's happening. This is actually really decent. She's driving to the conditions. She's not slow. She's looking for the hazards. Even though the road markings don't indicate there is a hazard, all of the parked cars are an absolute dead giveaway that something could be bad. Now the pitch of the line has changed. Do you see that? So this is now very hazardous like that. And she's had to go in the edge of the junction there. Luckily that car stopped. It would have been at fault, of course, but you sometimes think, can people really please be careful? Please? Especially around, you're going to get learners around driving test centres, especially during the day. This has all been repainted. You're following the road around town centre. There's junction on the left, junction ahead, so there's no signal required. Bring it round. There we go. I'm probably popping back into the test centre car park, or rather Freehold Street car park. And it says town centre with a big arrow on it. Being careful of the person crossing. He went in reverse. Did you see that? That was quite funny. And he'll be instructing her, go around to the right, do this, do that, do the other, find a bay, drive into a bay. So if there's no space, let's go. If there is a space, drive into it. And we're going round, and there's bonus footage of us all stood outside the test centre waiting for the people to come back. And we're back into the place where we stop. And that is the end of the driving test. Congratulations, Laura. Like, subscribe, comment. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy your evening. Bye for now.